Welcome to Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast.
We are back, another episode Around the Rinks. I'm Noah, joined by Brendan, Kylie, Liam, and Reese. The five of us are here.
Whole crew.
We did it.
Oh.
The whole
Let's
crew.
go.
It's been a hot minute since the five of us have all come together again and filmed one of these. And no better time to do it. The regular season is almost away. October 8th, I believe is the first day. Preseason has already begun. So much news has happened since our last Draisaitl video, so we got all that to cover. Around the Rinks is still back. And we're gonna be posting more on social medias. I'm not sure if you guys want to talk about that more, but
Well,
I'll let Liam take it away.
biggest thing for social media is links are down in the description on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us there. We're going to start getting a bit more active on social medias and here on YouTube as well, because we got some videos coming your way. We're back into the grind of school and all that regular stuff, but we got some good content coming your way. Today, though, like Noah said, is going to be a bit of a roundup of preseason so far, a bit of the news that's happened over the last couple of weeks, and then maybe a bit of a game towards the end hosted by the lovely, beautiful Mr. Reese Revel down there. But what do we want to start with in terms of news and topics?
I think no better to start is the three new captains that have been announced since the Draisaitl signing. Two of them pretty surprising in a way. But the non-surprising one, Victor Hedman, getting announced as the 11th captain in Tampa Bay Lightning history. Kind of a no-brainer since Stamkos has gone there. He was next in line. If Stamkos was never there, he would have been the captain there. Pretty much always has been. So
He just signed a big ticket again, no?
I don't think it was like that. I can double check for you. Honestly,
I think it was 2 years,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
don't
it?
think it was.
or maybe
Yeah.
it was 4.
It could have been 4.
It's been a while since we've been on the hockey grind,
Yeah.
so it's things are a bit fuzzy.
I know. I've been fully into football the last couple
Okay, little NFL.
of weeks. but-
Actually, let's keep it to hockey, Noah.
yeah. Sorry. It was split right in the middle. It's a three-year deal worth $8 million.
Oh, that's still a pretty big ticket.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
but good for him, honestly. Yeah, it's just gonna hopefully lead the Tampa Bay team to the playoffs once again.
It's gonna be very weird seeing Tampa Bay without Steven
it's-
Stamkos as captain.
It's gonna be. I don't know what's gonna be more weird: him in Nashville or Tampa without him, or even Hedman as captain.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him rip
Both
a
of us.
one-timer goal on power play there in Nashville, and it was just,
Classic.
it did not
Classic.
feel right. Well, classic, but
Yeah,
wearing yellow, it was like, what's going on?
yellow is so weird. But yeah, I guess we'll just rip right through this. Nick Foligno, bang, next captain, 33rd captain in the Chicago Blackhawks history.
Holy.
Yeah, right.
Just give it
Like,
to Connor Bedard at this point. Just let him,
honestly,
let him go do his thing.
I saw that. I thought that was going to come. I thought he was going to beat Bedard. I'm not surprised it's Foligno in one hand because that guy is like the definition of leadership. Like that guy is clearly you've seen clips of him. He's hilarious. He's in the locker room all the time. Sure, he's slow and not as good as he used to, but that doesn't really matter as a captain.
Yeah, a guy that's been there, done that, understands the responsibilities of being a captain, especially in a market that's an original 6 team and, like a hockey crazy mad place, like sheltering your generational talent, your young phenom for another 2 years while Foligno, kind of wishes the game its best.
I think
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
I think if you're comparing it to when, let's say, the Oilers gave McDavid the captaincy, yes, he was young, but who else would you have put captain above him at that time? There wasn't a million names, so Chicago's got a name in Foligno that they could trust and give him that responsibility. So Bedard's moment will come down the line.
So,
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, even in the next 2 years after Foligno retires or
100%.
however his career goes.
Yeah, I feel like he's still a kid, right? So I feel like we got to let him, grow in his career
Sure.
a bit more, and then you give him the C.
But we have seen young captains. I mean, Landeskog, or was it Landeskog? Yeah, I think Landeskog, Crosby, even like McDavid
we
was
just
young.
named.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
all
Hughes is
were
pretty
really
young, too, right?
Yeah, Hughes is so young too. Yeah,
Mhm.
so
Who's
young
Well,
captains are.
I think Liam's totally right. Like having the option at least to be able to do that, I think changes the game a little bit. Like when McDavid was that age, like he didn't really have a whole lot of help from the veterans in the
I
locker room
agree.
because it's not like there was a ton. But them having Seth Jones and Nick Foligno and like some of those older veteran guys on that team, I think all it does is just make Bedard's life easier. You don't have to go and like
Yeah,
responsibility right
and
away.
I've liked what they've done. I've liked what they added. They bring more veterans. They brought in Hall last year. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. I think Bertuzzi this year. Like that's going to be some more grit on that team. And I think Maroon's there too now. Like, what is this Blackhawks team?
There's a little bit.
Uh,
There's a little bit of excitement there. Actually, I think that's gonna be an interesting season in Chicago this year.
I'm very curious how the Chicago Blackhawks season
I'll give you a little
goes.
sprinkle and tease if you stay tuned to Around the Rinks in the coming days and weeks. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a special video where we go conference by conference and telling you who we think is going to top each one. So stay tuned for that one.
a little tease, but it's going to
tease.
happen. Yeah, I guess we can move on to probably the most surprising announcement for all this captaincy of Radko Gudas being named the 9th captain in Ducks history. Wow.
Great name, though. Great name.
Right. And great beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should see him, Liam. He's a beauty of a
I'll
man.
give you a Google search right now.
They call
And
him the Butcher,
the
Great
butcher.
right?
One of the hardest playing players in the league, and that guy, he one of the biggest hitters of the league. So again, just kind of like the Nick Foligno type of
I'm loving
the same
me some
sort of
Radko
deal there.
Gudas. I'm loving this, man.
Yeah, you love him.
It's a great beard. I aspire to that level one day.
But again, I'm kind of surprised they didn't give it to Fowler.
Yeah,
Because you've always heard that Fowler has been kind of the guy in that locker room for years now, and Radko came in last year, I believe, and it's just kind of out of the blue.
well, how many years does Feller have left on that deal?
That's a you're gonna make
Because
me Google
he's been
one now. Yeah.
I'm on it right now too, but he's been subject of rumors year after year after year.
Yeah.
Like if he's on the last year of his deal, maybe finally it's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah,
this year.
he's got 2 years still. So same as good as.
Yeah, well, that's maybe a little bit more surprising all over again.
Well, and for a guy that really like, he definitely wasn't as big of a name until Florida went on that run.
Totally.
Like, way to make the most out of that situation, right? Like, you go and you play your heart out until you get to the finals, and you go and cash your bag. Obviously, sucks he didn't stick around for another shot. Like, they won the cup the next year. Kind of sucks for him, but you go cash in, make your money, and then the next year you're a captain in the NHL. Like, it probably came pretty freaking quick for a guy that was always looked at as a bottom 4 defenseman forever.
Totally. I totally agree with that. But yeah, good for him. Honestly, that's good story for him. I don't think the Ducks are gonna make the playoffs. So but hopefully he can get back there. I don't know.
Fun fact about Gudas, when he was playing with Florida, they were in town playing the Oilers. And, usually they do a practice the day before if it's, they have those couple days. And when I was serving downtown, just down the street from Rogers, he came in. So I can confirm that and I served him. His beard is just as beautiful in person, if not more.
Fair enough.
Wow.
But he's a big boy. Oh my God.
I have no doubt about it.
And he came with a whole group of people. I just don't they weren't players, so I'm not sure who he came with. But yeah, he was really nice though.
Just to kind of piggyback on that one, surprisingly, Evan Bouchard, bigger in person than he looks on the ice. I'll give him that one. I met him at the Edmonton airport a couple weeks ago. He's a big boy.
I swear they're always at the airport.
It was Bouchard
Everybody meets them there.
and Connor Brown together flying in from Toronto. And Connor Brown. I mean, get out of my way. I'm talking to the big man here.
Whoa.
I love Connor Brown, but he ain't
No
no
Connor Brown
he ain't no
slander.
Hey,
Bouchard
I
either.
thought I thought you gingers gotta stick together.
Yeah, I do love me some Big Red, but this is we're talking about one of the defensemen going to sign one of the biggest contracts in NHL history for a defenseman. We're gonna go talk to him, okay? But no, they were.
Should get him on the podcast.
Yo, I tried. I threw some business cards
Really?
at him. No.
Oh,
It was him and
like
his,
around the rings with this.
it was him and his family, and he had a bundle of sticks. I was like, I could sell these for so much money right now. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, good guy. He's taller in person than he looks out there. His eyes did
Just,
go both ways though.
Just to add to the Gudis thing again, I think he's kind of more so just a placeholder until Mason McTavish kind of really fills into his own and he becomes a captain. Like I think that's like for sure gonna happen one day.
Mhm.
You're not going to give it to Trevor? What? Why?
I don't know.
Come on.
Sorry,
Say it out loud.
Didn't you? Torts is the next coach of the Ducks. He's not giving him anything.
Oh, yeah. That's too bad for Trev. Yeah, for sure.
I do like Mason McTavish though. So
Yeah.
that guy. I remember in the World Juniors. I compared him to Brendan. They look really like freakishly similar.
I like that. It makes me feel
So-
nice about myself. I was at that gold medal game there when he slapped that puck off the line.
Really? Oh my!
Yeah,
I
that
wanted
was
to go
so
to
cool.
that so bad.
It's just I was in the upper deck on the other side of the ice, so like
That
I
doesn't
couldn't really
matter.
tell to the replay.
Saw it on the jumbotron.
Should we
But the anthem was cool.
transition this captain talk into games that we all recently went to go see? Because 4 out of 5 of us have gone to a hockey game already this season. Noah Pomeroy, why are you letting around the rinks down?
Hey, you know what? I'll say this. I was at the Oilers fan park on Sunday, so I was out filming for whatever for that.
What was
But
going
you know,
on at Sand Park? Or just the games?
No, I was
So
there
there was a
because
game on Sunday,
I was doing a project for school, which might be going on the show. Who knows
Ooh.
about that? Ooh.
Teaser.
Um,
Roll the clip.
But yeah, so yeah, they had the locker room sale. They had Andrew Ferentz out there signing autographs and whatnot.
Speaking of captains,
I wanted to interview with him so bad, but there was just a giant line, and I just couldn't.
Speaking about that locker room sale, I bumped into Mick Mullet. I'm at this point I'm saying friend of the show, Mick Mullet. And I was talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I got there at like 7 a.m. and there's already 100 people in front of me." So I was like, "Oh, I'm not getting all the good stuff. It's gonna be gone." And then you guys today tossed in a picture of the amount of money somebody spent on a game-worn Connor McDavid jersey. Was it 19,000?
Yeah.
and more crazy, a $2.50 charge for a plastic bag. Are you kidding me?
$2.50 for a plastic bag.
Are you kidding me?
Dropping 20.
That's the
almost
first.
20
That's the
grand.
first thing I put in chat. Is just $2.50 for a bag.
You drop almost 20 grand. You're like, "Do you want a bag for that?" Yes, charge me.
Yeah, actually, that's gonna tip me over the edge. So we should
Mhm.
save the bag.
Which
Yeah.
jersey would cost $19,000? It must be a playoff game jersey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it would have had to been like Stanley.
Maybe
Cup
it
final.
even has a finals patch on
Yeah,
it.
because
Maybe.
there's no
I think
way.
the only way it's still never gonna be worth it, but the only way that would be worth that kind of money is like Game 6 jersey or like Game 4 jersey of the finals where they like won and he was sick.
Mhm.
It would be hard. 19 grand is insane for like a piece of
jersey.
memorabilia.
Yeah.
When I was walking through the locker room sale, I was just like looking at. They were gross. I couldn't say the number, but like just the regular playoff jersey, even regular season worn jerseys, they were just. How can you spend that much money?
Well, the official
that
Oilers team
is-
store. I went into there.
I wish.
Jerseys. Yeah, if you're getting a jersey with a number and name on the back, you're spending $350 kind of thing minimum. And then it's wild. Any of the game, there was an Evander Kane game used stick for $375. Pardon me? No, this man's literally crippled at the moment. Give me a deal on that. Man, no, it's just the numbers are insane in the Oilers official store, but people
And people keep on
people
spending it,
People
man.
buy it. I mean, if the prices are that for a reason, so
Mhm. This is a good segue for this. How do you guys feel about the new Fanatics jerseys?
They looked okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we'll see.
don't really have a giant problem.
I give
I don't
them
think yet.
a fabric stretch, and they looked all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You know,
gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for now, and then see what
Mhm.
happens.
I
Okay.
have one. What I do like is the crest isn't as like stiff as the other, so it's almost more comfortable to wear. Like it doesn't like kind of pop up all weird, and there's not like so much fear about it, like kind of warping bad. It's almost a little bit more comfortable, and it brings less stress to me because I'm not too worried about staining that one or anything, and it's thinner. Remember when we were outside in the heat, Liam?
Yeah.
I wore that one and it was thin, like, because playoffs, basically it was summertime. Like I've never experienced that, but it's thinner and way more breathable than the original ones. So that's what I love about them.
Yeah, they looked okay. I don't know. Price wise, are still exactly the same. So
Yeah, I'd just say I got the
Yeah.
prices here. It's pretty much all. It's the exact same as the Adidas. So 250 Canadian for the premium jersey is what they're calling it, which is the exact same as the Adidas ones. For the name and number on the back. So same thing, but they have the new Authentic Pro jerseys, which is they're pretty much just selling the same jerseys the players wear, which hasn't been done in I not in my lifetime, I don't think, or that I remember. So
I
that's
think-
pretty cool. But they're going for $500 Canadian.
Yeah, like I think CCM used to do it like a long time ago, and then but now like the
Yeah, I don't
only way that
remember.
you've been able to buy the jerseys that the players wear is if it's like game worn
Game
sort
worn.
of thing.
Mhm.
So it's cool, like it's made in the same factory and stuff, I guess, but like it's $550, I think, for if you want a custom jersey.
Yeah, probably.
That's insane. If you're paying, like, that's just ridiculous. $500 for one jersey is
a bit
No
much.
go.
A bit
Like I said,
I
I,
mean,
don't
no-
think no one's gonna be buying the Authentic Pro jerseys anyways, unless you're like the collector.
You never know.
But
Only
then what
people that got
happens-
money to burn.
Yeah. What happens when
True.
you go to the Oilers game and all they got is the Authentic Pros,
I
and it's the
gotta get
playoffs?
would-
You got 6 beers in you. It's like,
6 beers there is like 24 anywhere else.
Corey Perry jerseys never looked any nicer.
Corey Perry.
Yeah, it was really fun though. I bumped into Brendan, and I also knew Reese was going to the same game. So 3 of us were at the same game. It was the Battle of Alberta game.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I got to meet Miss Lauren. I'm happy I got to meet her.
Yeah,
Friend
she
of
was
the
there in
show.
flesh.
Friend of the show.
so she's real? Somebody can
She is
confirm
real.
she's real?
She is real,
I
and
also
she's very
real.
beautiful.
Yeah, she's real. Can you believe that? Crazy.
She's not lying.
At least though, at least I went to a game and saw the correct team win. You guys saw
Yeah,
absolute
well,
demolition.
we
derby.
saw Connor McDavid score
Correct,
another one of his
correct.
highlight reel goals.
I saw a bunch
Against
of
a bunch of
children.
bums, but,
I saw
like-
a bunch of children skating around, and yeah, I only knew about 4 names out there. But let me tell you, Mr. Sam O'Reilly, there's a little special player in there. I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna lie, he's looked great.
I liked
From
him.
the little highlight package I saw, it was
So when the Oilers traded up to get that 32nd pick, I think he was, I was like very unsure of it because like that they moved their first round pick for this season for that one, and it was 32. Like, are you serious? You can't get any worse than that. And then but obviously they saw something in him, and he was playing third line in London. And now when Easton Cowan and those big boys in London start moving up and transferring to the AHL and the NHL, he's going to get a legitimate chance to play power play 1 and line 1. And I saw like in the OHL preseason, he was already scoring like 2 points per game. It was preseason, but like I think that this guy, and I'm a biased Oilers fan, obviously, but like I think this guy could be a bit of a two-way stud. Like his goal scoring, any of the goals he scored have been like very nice. And these little subtle plays, opening his hips, like on that breakaway goal, like he had one leg going the complete opposite way and the other leg facing the offensive zone and received pass straight in transit. Like it was really nice.
Yeah, he took his goal
gonna be
very
sick.
well. Like it was very comfortable for him when he took his goal there.
and he plays big.
There was a couple other names that were decent in that, because it was the first preseason game versus Winnipeg, and yeah, I mean, Yeah, there was a lot of names out there. Rodrigue, the goalie, that was the one I was most excited to see. I was like, you know what? I think this guy could be within a chance of making some like first team starts this season. You never know what happens, but he let in the first shot after 7 seconds, and then after that had 8 shots for the rest of his time on the ice. So he wasn't that busy, but no, and good for them to get some of these names going and give them an opportunity. But then, yeah, you guys saw the
Poor
real
Picker
team.
got left to dry. I felt so bad for him. And I have these Calgary fans behind me going, who's this goalie? I'm like over here, like, put some respect on Pickard's name. Like, he stepped in for Skinner during the playoffs.
So
like, I don't know.
What happened that night against Calgary? In both games, like home and away.
Yeah.
I just think the rookies in Calgary wanted it more. I just think they wanted it more. There's more space on the Calgary team for them to bring up younger players. And I just, like, there's not a lot of space on Edmonton. So I think they just wanted it more, honestly. I think that our team just wanted to play it careful. We already got injuries on the team. We don't need more, especially on our top 2 lines. So I just think they didn't really give a crap, honestly.
I did love how McDavid just preseason game and out of nowhere again we're losing terribly and it's like he does McDavid things and scores a great goal. It's just like
that's all we needed from him.
Yeah, he lit up the crowd a little bit, got everybody excited, and
they had the wave going for like 5 minutes there. It wasn't dead in the building, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was silly.
It was honestly, I am a big hater on the wave in games, especially when you're losing or it's like the second period or something. And it started going, and the guy that was starting it was right beside me, like he was in the section over.
It was
so
actually
I'm like,
just
I have
Reese.
to do this, right? It was actually just me. But all of a sudden, all the way around the arena, like the vibes in there
Top
are
and
like
bottom.
the vibes. Yeah, wow. The vibes in Edmonton right now, going into the season, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it sucks. Write the season off. We lost the split squad to Calgary. Like, who cares? Everyone is fired up. McDavid looked good. I mean, some of those big boys, it's exactly what Kylie's saying. Who cares? It's preseason. Exactly like Craig Berube was saying today. Did you guys see that? Sorry to transition off of that.
I am so excited to see Berube in Toronto.
One of these reporters comes up to him and he's like, so, like, is the panic starting to kick in? You guys started out 1-1, and he's like, it's preseason. Next. It was like, just who cares? Like, awesome.
To talk about the energy inside Rogers, so the section beside me, right in the front row, there was this kid with a sign that said, "This year we win the cup." Put him on the big jumbotron. The crowd standing ovation for this. I'm like, everybody calm down. It's preseason game 1. Half the majority of these people on the ice won't even make a first team appearance. Like, everyone's standing ovation. I was like, all right, people, we are fired up for NHL. Like, my God.
Didn't Mike Hoffman get a goal? I wanted to say.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, he got one of his one-timer classic goals, and how do you think he gets a contract?
Not unless he wants to play in the A, I don't think.
Yeah.
Personally.
In my opinion, I think he's like, if you keep him, it's going to be that exact same thing. I think he's basically trying out for another team right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I don't know, going into his goal, like this patented one-timer, this guy is a pure goal scorer. And when Liam, you were at the game, Lavoie scored that one-timer, it was the exact same setup. Like, they're all in that umbrella up top, and Hoffman gives it up to the top D-man, bangs his stick on the ice, and then passes it over to Lavoie, and he scores. And exact same play the next game, Hoffman gets it, rips it. So it's like, this guy's still got it, and he wants to play bad for sure. I don't have a problem. 800K, throw him on the fourth line. He's probably getting you 10 goals, 15 goals. But
exactly,
where does he fit for sure? Like, there's just so many guys on this team that could play.
Yeah, no, maybe if there's another injury, knock on wood, right? Like, we don't want that, but like maybe at that point. But like, there's so much depth on this team as far as what Mike Hoffman would kind of bring. Maybe not the goal scoring touch, right? Like, that's something that he has over guys like Corey Perry and Derek Ryan and all these other guys competing. But I don't know, like another guy that has kind of lost his wheels and on the back nine of his career. I don't know. Leave it for somebody younger.
I know we have a lot more preseason games to get through and talk about, so we can move on quickly. But you talked about classic kind of goals. Hyman scores a goal just as he does coming in the back post. Do you think he's gonna have a same or similar season that he did last season?
We can only pray for it. I think so. I don't think he's done.
I think he's gonna have a great season. I think he's gonna. I don't think he catches up with what he did last year. That's a lot.
Optimism.
Like he's a fantastic player.
I think it's going to be a lot like Nuge this year as opposed to the year prior, right? Like you got 100 points, and now like that was the anomaly, right? Like Nuge isn't going to do that year in year out. I don't think Hyman's a 50 goal guy year in year out. I'm sorry. I mean,
with Connor, though.
Maybe with Connor on the power play.
Yeah.
I mean, like anything's possible, but if you're banking on Hyman producing at the rate 50, he was,
you have to go,
last year. I wouldn't
go into the season almost with expectations that the Oilers will play the most games out of any NHL team in terms of playoffs and going all the way kind of thing. So there's a chance for him. There's a chance that he puts up some great numbers. But yeah, last season he was so good in comparison to his usual numbers. So
let's hope they don't get taken away. No, you're good. Let's just hope they don't get taken away for goaltender interference. Like I think he had almost 10. Taken away. It was absolutely ridiculous. So he could have even had better numbers.
Every time either Hyman scores or the goal gets called off, it's like, okay, what the fuck did Hyman do? Like, this is brutal. Not again. But I do think this guy's playing with either the best passer in the world or the best player in the world, right? Like he's going to get every opportunity he could possibly imagine. He goes to the right areas all the time. He's on the best power play in the history of the NHL. I don't think it's out of the question for him to get 50 again. Like he obviously showed, how many goals did he get the year before? Like 38 or something. So it's like, I honestly don't think I've ever seen a player improve as much as he has at his age, like in his state of his career, from him coming to the Oilers that first year to him watching him in even that preseason game last night, like all of these board battles he wins every time, like he's just so slippery with the puck now. He's so much more confident skating in himself. It's so cool to see. I could see him getting better is the crazy thing, which shouldn't happen, not for his skill suit and everything, but he just keeps making me look like a fool every single time I think less of him. So I could totally see him getting 50 again.
Yeah.
Gotta hope no injuries, right?
You know, this is a good segue for this. Similar player, Sidney Crosby.
What a guy.
Fine wine.
And finally, the rumors are over. And because I don't know about you, I was tired of it. Absolutely tired of it. I'm going to bring up the numbers real quick. But Sidney Crosby signs an extension. 2 years. 8.7. Yeah, 2 years for 8.7.
What a lovely number for Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird, eh? It's not like he's been making
right? Oh, no, he's going to be asking for 10, right, guys?
Well, and that's the thing. I saw people talking online that he could have gone for 10 elsewhere.
Totally.
He could have gone
easily.
offers, but to stay where you've played your entire career, where you're captain, where people love you, and to go for 8.7, what a great number for number 87. It worked.
I'm just so happy. Finally, the talk is finally over about it. And yeah, just thank God.
What
it just keeps me questioning is how could they not find a way to have brought back Gensel? How did they have to move him?
Especially for the return.
I think Dubas improved the team a lot over the summer. I'm a known if you're a constant listener to this podcast, I don't like Dubas. But he did improve that team this summer for sure. But was he that freaking hard on to get Bunting back that he had to move Gensel. Like, I don't understand. It's not like they didn't have the cap room now, especially with Crosby's contract, like not being the 10, 12 million like people were saying. It just seemed so crazy to me that like just not even an effort. I don't know.
Yeah, their cap right now is like it's really low, but they easily could have made, like you said, Bunting, and now you have Crosby, same contract. It could have been done. I feel like there's a way. Maybe it's on the other side. Maybe Gensel was not in favor of re-signing, so guess we'll never really know on how that side of the story was. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Are there any other major preseason scores or news that kind of stood out to you?
Sticking with the Penguins.
I was telling Noah today. I was like, if we talk about anything from the preseason, it has to be the pool party hat trick.
I don't know
That
how
is
I got
so
it
funny.
brought up
A
this
couple
late.
bings, dude. Like post in, sniping from the top of the circle, just beating the goalie clean. I don't know. I want him back.
And then they
I'd
lose
trade
like
McDavid.
6-3 that game too.
Yeah, 7-3, 6-3.
8-3, yeah.
8-3, but-
Because JJ Paterka got a hat trick
He
too
also
for
got the hattie.
Buffalo. Like double hat trick game, and like you're saying, Brandon, like these goals were sick. I was telling Noah today, like, what if this guy all of a sudden, like, he has these surgeries done, he gets playing with Sidney Crosby, and then all of a sudden it's like maybe he can get 60 points, maybe he can be that power forward that people kind of thought he might be. Like, imagine.
That would
That'd
be cool.
be sick.
I mean,
That would
like,
be so cool.
figure out your stride and tuck your tongue in your mouth, and I'll believe in it.
Nice bison, kind bison.
Yes, no, good guy.
Is there any bison out in Pittsburgh? I don't know. He'll find them though.
Honestly, I'm gonna stick on the Pittsburgh train right now because Jaromir Jagr, it's his last season. All signs is that he's planning to retire after his last season here in Kolodno.
He's
So-
50 years old.
He's 50 years old. I'm surprised. Genuinely, I honestly think he could keep going, and I think it was like his first couple games, he's still getting assists.
Yeah, he's a
So,
point
I'll-
like
I'll put it
37
up right now.
straight professional seasons. That is
He's
also
he's
crazy.
our Gordie Howe, right?
Yes.
Like
Yep,
Gordie Howe
100%.
played forever, right? And like he wasn't always in the NHL. He was going to WHA and going to all these different leagues. And like for Jagr, I think it was for the last while. I think it's been like, okay, well, if I retire, nobody comes to the games. Like they don't care.
Mhm.
So I think now for him to be able to be comfortable enough to retire, I think that's awesome. Like
Yeah,
such an
So awesome.
like legend of the game. Not only like one of the best players to ever play, but like a legitimate beauty from any story that you see. Like when you see these pictures of him walking down like a sidewalk or something, and there's hundreds of people standing back behind him asking for selfies. It's like this is a legitimate icon that played the
and
game. of
still,
hockey.
yeah, it's still going on right now. Every time he's out and about, he's just paparazzi all over him.
Great.
Yeah,
Generally,
these
and-
guys
and then
started
check.
what? Did he play in the 80s or did he start like early 90s?
You drafted in 90, I think. Here, let me.
Drafted
Yeah,
I
in
think he
90?
would like just miss the 80s because I think Mario Lemieux came in 85, and Jagr was watching Lemieux when he was younger.
Okay.
yeah, 5th overall in 1990,
1990. Yeah.
and he's
like
52.
It's 2024. Like what?
Yeah. 34 years.
It's wild. Good for him. Though.
34
Good
years.
For him.
Yeah, and he has a goal in the season as well. 4 games.
So
Of course he
when,
does.
when he retires from playing, is he going into management or is he going into like some upper he owns the team, right?
I wouldn't be surprised he comes back to North
Yeah.
America,
There's a lot of rumors about him being in the office in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Whether
yeah.
those have
That'd be cool.
any truth or not. But
Mhm.
if I was him, I would probably just be a rock star in the Czech for the rest of my life.
right?
It's pretty cool to
Well,
me.
I think the whole thing with him not getting his jersey retired until last year was because he had always thought like he hadn't had any communication with Pittsburgh in a long time because
Yep.
he thought that they like didn't like him anymore, like the fans didn't like him anymore. And so I think now that reception that he got when he was there was probably like, oh, they love me here still. Like,
Yeah.
why don't I come back? Like, I think it'd be awesome to see him in some kind of role in back in the NHL.
Mhm.
Coach? You think he can coach?
Yeah,
That's what
That
for
would
sure.
be
What if he
the
coaches?
biggest beauty of a coach ever.
Right. Imagine him behind the bench. I'd listen. I'd listen to
Replacing
every damn
Craig
word he
Berube
says.
with
Yeah.
Jaromir Jagr.
Stories would just be wild.
Did you guys see the thing about Berube? I've seen like 6 or 7 articles about Berube took the music away at practice. Berube doesn't let the Leafs play music at practice anymore. It's like, what kind of freaking patty cake la la land was Sheldon Keefe running there where it was just like, do whatever you want. Like,
yeah, and that,
Yeah.
look at
Oh
the
my
Toronto
God.
Maple Leafs. Look at how they were in the playoffs. We're here. Who cares, right?
Mhm. I think I saw a quote from Keith today. It was like him learning that like you're not allowed to fill up your own gas in New Jersey or whatever. And he's like, I didn't even know about that because I've been like renting a car each day or whatever. I'm like, okay, Mr. Millionaire.
Should we talk about the
But-
new TV series coming out?
I got that
I
up
am
on my monitor
so
right now.
excited.
'Cause
We need to talk about that clip from the trailer of McDavid.
Yeah.
again, right
It's
now.
it's golden.
Again!
I
have
am
never heard
so
that man
excited.
yell.
I am so
never-
excited for this. Genuinely,
Yeah.
like, and it's October 1st. It's coming out. We don't really know. I don't know if it's all coming out at once or they're gonna do every week they release an episode. I'm assuming it's that.
I thought it was but my
What's
dad might
that?
be wrong. It's on Prime though, so thank God I have Prime.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have bought any streaming service to watch it. I did not care.
Yeah, thank God it's on Prime. But yeah, 6 episodes coming out. Yeah, I'll read through the episodes. So I'll say episode 1, Best of Rivals, featuring William Nylander and David Pastrnak. That one's gonna be fun. I think both of them are such fun personalities.
And cocky. Confident
Yeah, right.
cocky. I don't know. They walked
Confident
that
and
line.
cocky.
They
The
walked
end
that
of
line.
that trailer that came
Yeah,
out. Where,
with Nylander?
What did Nylander say? I was like, "Okay, I actually
Pressure.
don't like this guy now." Yeah,
Pressure.
pressure.
You say something.
I
yeah.
love it. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
are you sure about that? Like, what?
I mean,
I was like, this
genuinely,
guy's got to be douchey.
he's definitely like the best Leaf playoff performer. So
Yeah. He shows up
I guess.
time.
Yeah.
But tell me you don't have locks like that. You're from Sweden. You don't think you're a little bit better than everybody else? I would.
Yeah,
that's
I
fair.
would too.
If your nickname's Willie Styles,
Yeah.
you could
like,
probably act like that.
So am I correct in saying it's just kind of like a behind the scenes?
yeah, I think it's from the guys that made Hard Knocks, right?
Okay.
There's them that I
Here,
read.
I'll
that.
double check.
But I do think that this is something that we really like. There has been the Road to the Winter Classic and all this other stuff, but having this behind the scenes stuff, like from the Stanley Cup Finals, like from the first game of the year to the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't think that's anything that has ever happened before. Like I don't
No.
think that much in-depth coverage has ever happened. So
Yeah, I guess kind of like a Drive to Survive kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right?
there
Like,
was a
it's-
couple soccer ones
Exactly.
called All or Nothing where they follow the team
Yep,
for the entire
and that's-
seasons. So
They did the same thing with the Leafs, the All or Nothing one. And
that
I'm
Noah,
assuming it's
can
every
you-
year.
I love
Noah,
it.
can you list out exactly who's in it again, just for?
Oh,
everybody?
here I'll go to the second episode here. Episode 2, As Tough as It Gets, featuring Philip Forsberg and Jack Eichel. Which
Cool.
that's gonna be cool.
It's oddly enough. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
No, go
Oddly
ahead.
enough, like that might be the most boring episode of them all. But like, it's still Jack Eichel and Philip Forsberg.
For-
Like, you got Mr. Mustache, Philip Forsberg. He's got to be a funny guy.
And extremely with what Nashville went through last year. You gotta think of the team's performance and how they were pretty slow coming up, and they looked like the best team in the NHL coming towards the playoffs. So
I definitely
that's-
want to see the behind the scenes of them getting punished and then them going through that streak. I think that'll be great to see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Jack Eichel, I'm very curious to see on what the behind the scenes in Vegas looks like.
mhm.
Mhm.
Vegas seems so fun to play in.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
that like just imagine being home there all the
Viva
time
Las Vegas.
in front of those fans, even just practicing there. Just I'm really excited to see how that's about. episode 3, Learning to Win, featuring Jeremy Swayman and Matthew Tkachuk.
Mhm.
Which
I love a good Kachuk in anything, so that's great.
yeah, another two that both faced each other in the playoffs as well. So
Speaking of Swayman, isn't he
definitely got
not
beef
even
there.
signed yet? Like, I don't really know what's. They kind of insulted him with that offer,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
we'll
big
see what
time.
happens with that. I wanted to bring that up earlier,
time.
but
Honestly,
Like,
yeah, we
he's
should
asking
probably
for
talk
too
about this
much.
now. Yeah.
He's probably asking for too much, in my opinion. But
Yep.
I mean, he has all the leverage. What was Boston doing trading Allmark before they signed this guy? That was
Not one clue.
I remember seeing
dumbest thing
that
I've ever seen in my entire life. What are you
Game
doing?
7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that pops up on the Jumbotron. I was like, what the hell? I didn't expect that into Ottawa.
Yeah, and it wasn't much for the return for Allmark as well.
Mm-mm,
Like-
they gave him
Yeah.
away.
Like they literally handled this so poorly, and I don't know if you guys like had saw that stuff that came out. We'll shout out another podcast. I don't know if you guys
The
have heard of Spit and
Chicklets?
Chicklets. They
I've never heard of
Whitney
him.
was talking about how they had offered like a pretty cheap deal to Swayman, and that Sweeney hadn't reached out to Swayman in 3 weeks. And then Sweeney goes on like some kind of interview and is just basically like chirping the shit out of Paul Bissonnette, who didn't say anything, and like the Spit and Chicklets podcast. He was like the Spitting Up on Yourself podcast.
Mhm.
And it had to have been the stuff that I listened to Ryan Whitney say was some of the funniest stuff ever. But he completely stood like with what he said. Like 3 weeks, no call. Like
Yep.
I think that this whole thing has been so poorly managed that now, like, and Swayman's so smart. He's like, I can't screw over the goalie market.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get whatever he wants, and especially if they go into the season and Merzlikins sucks. Like, the thing for
Or,
Boston though is
yeah.
that,
Hello.
Corpusalo.
yeah, Corpusalo. Sorry. The thing for Boston though is that like they think that it's full, like their structure is why Allmark was good and why Swayman was good. But like you look at those playoffs against Florida, Swayman was the reason that series went anywhere. Like
Mhm.
Yep.
he was insane in those playoffs, but still, I don't think he can be asking for $9 million. Like he's not
No.
a Carey Price
Yeah.
type of
The
guy.
goalies
Can't
are
sign
so
more than Saros just did, right? Like Saros signed his UFA. He has much more experience, and their numbers
Yep.
are very comparable, right? Like at the end of the day, who has the leverage, right? Like said that a little bit earlier, but like from Boston's perspective, how the hell do you justify that $9 million?
There are
Mhm.
not many goalies who are consistent over, let's say, 3, 4, 5 seasons. Where there's a lot that, yeah, they have a great moment and then they come back down to reality. And
Mhm.
will he
Mhm.
be one of those greats like your Carey Price, like you mentioned? I don't know yet, but he's in the position to ask for that money.
Yeah.
He's going to do it, right?
I think he can be. I think Swayman's a
Mhm.
fantastic goalie, and it's just IQ in general is just so smart. I think he's like a doctor or whatever, or that's what he went to
And he's-
university or whatever. Like,
He's so young too, but I do kind of think of like goalies are very prominent to getting injuries too, just because of how they have
Yeah.
to perform in the net. So I think it's almost like anytime you sign a goalie, it's a risk. It's
yeah,
a
long
leap
term
of faith.
definitely.
Especially long term, it's kind of scary. So maybe they're really trying to just think this one out, and Swayman's just kind of hanging there, left hanging for a bit. But I do we think he'll sign, and for how much?
I don't think he signs until December.
He has the same
I
agent as
think-
Willie Styles.
Exactly.
Yeah, he held out till Christmas time. No,
Yeah. Oh, I think it was like Christmas Day or whatever that got signed. Or
Well,
I
I
don't
think
remember.
I think the deadline
But-
is December 1st, right?
Oh, maybe it was right on
Like, I
December
think if
1st. Yeah.
yeah. So
Could be
like
right.
I don't see any way that unless Boston is
When
really
William-
really bad,
Yeah.
then maybe. But like
well, Willie
they're
got
not
what
in
he
a
wanted
rush.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I don't know. This seems like
You
a
say they got the
giant
same
headache.
agent?
Yeah,
That's tough.
but I mean, like it's really like
that's going
it's
to
really
December
who's-
1st.
who's gonna crack first, right? Like you've got a young goalie who obviously wants to play hockey, and you've got a team who is like, okay, well maybe we can get through till December without him. But what happens when you're starting Corpusalo every single game of the playoffs, And like you're almost
Yeah.
like no hate,
That's
but
tough.
you're pretty well writing the season off if you don't bring him back at all.
Yeah.
So it's got to happen one way or another, in my opinion. But I think Swayman's gonna get whatever he wants. And for a team, I think Boston is reluctant to do it because like their culture for so long has been like team friendly, team friendly, team friendly. And then for this young guy, a goalie of all things, to come around and be like, "Yeah, I want as much money as you're gonna give me." Like they basically like, are they willing to throw away what they've believed in for the last 10 years that's made their organization like a strong team, or are they gonna give in to Swayman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the next episode?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
but I
get-
kind of sidetracked
No,
there,
no,
but
it's
it's
okay,
a
though.
good sidetrack.
The captains featuring Quinn Hughes, Gabriel Landeskog, and Jacob Trouba.
I'm
Which-
so excited for Trouba.
Woo! Yeah, I mean,
Trouba
I'm excited for Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see
That
what that
one-
story looks like.
Yeah.
I am
For sure.
wondering what his role has been behind the scenes for the last year. He's been injured, and as captain of the team, just kind of, I'm curious, like how he's been dealing with it because it's probably terrible, like what
Yes.
he's been going through, and just like having to watch from the outside every single time, and you can't really do much about it. So I'm excited for that one. Jacob Trouba and Quinn Hughes, those are also going to be great. Quinn Hughes coming in young captain for the Canucks and having an amazing season.
Mm-hmm.
And then New York City. Shucks.
And then New York City winning the President's Trophy, Jacob Trouba. And he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I'm curious if they're
And-
going to show his like painting.
There was also that stuff that happened last year with like him giving it to one of the guys on Spit and Chicklets because they called out his wife or something too, and it was like a great
Oh.
big deal. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, I don't think I
hearing
remember
about
that now.
I
It
remember
was
that one, no.
something like he was one of the guys on Chicklets was like giving it to Trouba for sucking, and then brought up his wife, and Trouba like put out this big thing that was like, "You gotta back off, dude."
Yeah, that's one guy you don't want to piss off. But yeah, excited for that one. Should I just keep
Keep it
listening
going.
off?
Keep
Keep
it
going.
rolling.
Episode 5 or the penultimate episode, Cup or Bust Part 1 featuring Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. I mean, I know you guys are going to love that one.
Ooh.
Don't get much
Yeah.
better than that.
All
Don't
three of
pretend
your boys.
you won't enjoy
I
it.
might just
Oh, I'm
stop
gonna
on
love all
game
of these.
or episode
Mhm.
5. I don't need to see 6.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip straight to episode 5 and 6.
Yeah, you
That's-
can see 6.
That could also be a tough one to watch, though. 'Cause I
Oh,
think you're
right.
gonna
No,
see
6.
Oh,
6.
six.
It's a write off.
I mean, I
Yeah.
love flashbacks during episode 6.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had flashbacks walking to the preseason game. I was walking through the moss pit and it was
Same.
empty, and I was like,
Same.
my dad's like reminiscing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the bright orange beer, like where you buy your beer. I was like, yeah.
I saw it too.
I was like, there were some good times here and some bad times. Like,
Yeah, I went to eat it smoke, and I could see it from the window at smoke, and I'm like, wow, it's still sitting there. I'm like, it'll be back. It'll be back.
Mm.
It'll just stay there till playoffs happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one because again, the Oilers, it's a storybook season
What
just
a
of
year that was.
how they started and how they ended. So very excited for that
Yeah.
one. Then last episode, Cup or Bust Part 2, featuring Kachuk and McDavid. Which
Hell of a lineup.
Yeah.
McDavid's
I-
getting 2 episodes.
Like it is.
Or same with
Kachuk.
Kachuk, yeah.
But it is like obviously they picked some of the best players in the world, so you kind of had to
Mhm.
expect it. But like I think it's awesome for them that they got at least 2 guys, 3 including Draisaitl, that went all the way.
Yeah.
Right, like for
Yeah.
them to get all of that coverage and stuff, like perfect for the show and
Perfect.
like perfect for us watching it. Right, being able to go that deep, so sick.
Yeah, and they couldn't have been able to tell what was going to happen. So when
Mhm.
they started following them, they got to, they picked the right people to follow, I feel. Same with Nylander, too. And was it Pasternak? Yes.
Yeah.
I think those 2 were 2 very good ones to pick, too.
Mm-hmm.
No, they knew what they were
The ones
doing.
in the playoffs, yeah, they definitely know what they're
There's
doing.
a lot of money at stake
Lot of-
there. They
Yeah,
know
a
what they're
lot of
doing.
people making a lot of money making really big decisions.
Oh yeah,
But that should be a great watch when that comes out on
yeah.
Amazon Prime.
I'm so excited for it.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else
Definitely
you want to talk
review.
about?
I think that's-
Cider and
yeah,
Raven
I guess
Ascension.
Yeah, Yzerpan plan is finally.
Hey, I mean, you gotta
trying to
with
get around.
the-
I love the money. I love both
with the
deals.
6 NHL goalies he has on the roster. There's
Yeah.
got to be some space somewhere, right? So, like to have these two come in at $8 million a piece, I think is unreal. Like Sider hasn't missed a game in the last 3 years or 2 years, I think, and he's like a old school come at you defenseman who's gonna give you 50 plus points a year sort of thing. And Raymond for that second half of the year, like he was driving the play like a legitimate like star player in the NHL. And that rookie season he had, like he was really good. Kind of cooled down. And then this year he just picked right back up. I thought he was sick. Having Patrick Kane there again, it's like this team that kind of changes the outlook on their season. I don't believe in the Yzer plan at all. But for him to get both of them at 8x8, like that's pretty unreal.
I agree. Maybe who knows? Maybe Detroit will figure it out and try to make a playoff push this year. But guess that'll be a good segue for our next couple episodes coming up with our reviews, our season reviews coming up, and that's gonna be pretty fun. We're gonna say who we think sucks and who we think is gonna be good.
But before we get to that, we had just
we got one more.
We just mentioned McDavid and Kachuk, captains going to the Stanley Cup. Now it's time for Reese Revel to take it away.
Oh, of course. Oh, what am I?
Captain's game.
How could I forget the captain's game?
Oh, it's such a classic game.
Give us a bit of a rundown of how this works, Reese.
So basically, I have 5 different captains in the NHL and current captains.
Thank you.
And so I'm gonna give them blindly to the 4 of you guys, and then you guys just have to rank them 1 to 5. Got no idea who's coming next. That's about it.
Just take it out a pen.
Super chill.
You think this is
Yeah,
serious
Kylie, this is serious.
I pulled out the pen.
Kylie's-
You want me to go last? I don't want to ruin the list.
We go together.
No. We do this together.
We do it as a collective.
Oh,
group.
like you'll say like 1 and I'll say like 3.
Yeah,
okay.
and we just don't value your
we'll
opinion.
have to decide. Yeah.
And so this is
collectively voted.
this is currently going into the season, like how good they are right now, sort of thing. This is not like leadership, but like just skill
as a player. Yeah.
Okay.
So first one, Sidney Crosby.
Fuck.
4. I love him. I love him.
But we don't know what's coming.
No.
The guy had 94 points.
You
He's
can't say
aging. He's
4 for
aging.
Sidney Crosby.
He's aging.
And yet he's getting better.
I'm going 3.
Fine wine.
Fine
I
line,
love
like
Sidney.
we said
I
earlier.
love him, but I just feel like we're gonna have some
I'll accept
great
3.
names coming up.
I'd like 2,
I'm
but
gonna
I'd
play it
accept
safe
3.
and put him in the middle because I feel like there's gonna be worse and there's gonna be better.
3
so we'll
works for
see.
me.
I am waiting for the Radko Gudez to come out.
Yeah,
And
Nicolino Radko
we only have number 1 open.
Wait, who said 4? You?
I said 4. I think there's gonna be a lot of good names coming up here.
Okay.
I'm fine putting them all behind Sid.
I'll go
There's
3.
lots of
I'll go
strategies.
3.
I'll go with 3.
I'll
4
accept
is too
3 as
much.
well.
4
3.
is way too low.
Liam's
I don't
still
think
a
I don't
savage.
think 3 is insane.
I'm just
3
like-
isn't crazy by any means.
I was also thinking 2.
Okay, we'll get your list
No way
out.
I can get that.
We're making a collective list,
I like-
Kylie.
So
mister.
next up, Jared Spurgeon.
See,
That's why we left us a 5.
if we
That's why we left him 5.
if we put Sid at 4 there, we would be in a dangerous place.
Never. You gotta roll the
Now-
dice upon roll.
Now, do we get somebody worse than Jared Spurgeon?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Because
put
it's-
him 4.
These are
There's
4 or
lots
5.
of captains that are in there for their leadership.
I
Don't
like-
forget it.
I like 5.
5.
I like 5.
I
His name's disgusting.
Radko's coming out.
He's got a beard, so it's okay. 5.
Or do you want to know?
I'll go. I'll
5.
jump on the boat with you. Yeah.
I'm going 4. I feel like he's gonna whip something crazy out. So
5.
Dylan
what's
Larkin.
next?
What do we... Oh.
Who? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan
It's
Larkin.
Larkin.
Red Wings.
Detroit captain.
Oh, can we put him above Sid?
You had to put two
I don't want to
people above
close. I
Sid.
don't want to leave 1 and 2.
We should have put him
I
at
don't
2.
wanna-
We should have put him at 2. We should have put him at 2.
Four for
We
Larkin.
fucked up.
Thank you, Liam.
Okay, I'm putting him at 2.
No, what?
No,
God.
don't put him at
No,
two.
no, no, no.
Oh, no. I say we should
I
have put
don't-
Sid at 2.
5.
What? She's making her own list. She does not understand how this game works. She is
Are we doing this together?
Yes, we're doing this
Yeah.
together.
Okay. In my
I
own
think Larkin
mind.
at 4. We rolled the dice. Larkin at 4. We rolled the dice.
Put him at 4.
Okay,
Roll the dice.
I'm a gambling man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. I
Radko,
can't
it's gonna
have
be
Larkin.
Radko at
guys-
1.
The
It's
only
happening.
spots you guys have available right now are
They're
1 and 2,
1 and
right?
2.
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Not happy
That's
about it.
crazy. You better
Alright,
say
alright.
Connor McDavid.
I hate to break it to you, but there is no Connor McDavid.
Oh, okay.
Brady Kachuk.
Okay.
Give him 1. Give him top.
You
I'm high
guys,
on Brady
that can't be
Kachuk. I think
2.
he's sick.
If
I like
you had
2.
listened to me,
I like
we
2.
would
and
have-
I like-
Kevin Iron
I-
is number 1.
I think
I'm
number
also
1.
okay. I'm okay at 2.
Put him top just for fun.
I don't think
You
we
guys
put
are-
him at top.
You don't know
guys
who's
are
coming
good at-
next. You don't know
you
who's
guys
coming
are
next,
good at him
Noah.
at 2.
We should have put Sydney first at this point.
I like
We
2.
should've put
I
him-
like 2.
I like
all right,
2.
all right, 2. Play it safe.
Radko's coming
So,
up.
you guys killed it last time we did this.
Yeah,
like,
we-
you guys murdered it.
I may or may not have absolutely destroyed this on the first one.
I think the next time we do it, you guys will do much better than this, maybe. But locked in at number 1 already, Adam Lowry.
Fuck.
Character guy.
Character guy.
If
You know,
it was riding on the Dylan Larkin at 4. That was what it was.
I'm so sorry. That was my fault.
Oh, it's fun. You
Say
guys
that
did a good job
too.
though. Those are hard. Like, I think you guys just did so well the first time. You weren't expecting it to be.
Sid could have been 1.
There could have been 1.
I knew that the Sid would kind of
It's-
throw you
it's
guys
Sid-
off.
I think Larkin at 2 probably would have worked better there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
My list would have been
It's hard
better.
to say. I didn't have one of the prestige like number 1 kind of guys. Maybe
Yeah.
you could probably say Crosby could be in there, I
Probably,
guess.
probably one of them.
Probably.
Crosby.
But yeah, so dealer house always wins.
House
I guess.
House always
won
wins.
that one tonight. Well, that is a bit of a preseason and news review. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. No, I let you take it away. Make sure you are following the social medias though, and
Yep.
keep up to date on this channel because we got some big videos coming out soon, going through each conference and giving our predictions.
Yeah, pretty much everything Liam said. I'm excited for the regular season. I'm not sure about you guys, but around the rinks, we're going to keep uploading throughout the season. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
That has been another episode of Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast. We'll see you next time.